Stream is live. Hello.
Welcome back. What's going on, everybody? Monday night is all. What is going on? Everybody in the side chat. We've got, let's see who's in here. PA Biker, the first one in here. Hello, Doc Harley, XAM Biker. What's up, buddy? Let's see. We got the Frogman, Frogzilla. We have Wilkie. Hey, buddy. It's been a minute. I know you've been working and stuff. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Evil Rick, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you too. XAN, Chris Fingus, what's up, man? The Lone Cowboy Adventures, always in there showing the support. Slim Jim, what's up, buddy? So, yes, as you've seen the title, did SmokeOut 23 go as planned? Well, I've got to tell you, I think it all went pretty good because I didn't set no plans. So, so we have the Thumpers on and we have Keith Raised the Road. If you don't know who that is, what's up? Bill is in the house. Good to see you too. So, expectations. I didn't have any except for Monkey said it's a bad show. It's awesome, so I decided to go. Keith, can you hear me, buddy? Hello, Lolly?
I sure can.
So what we're going to try to do here a little bit, we're going to let Keith ask us some questions, and we're going to follow up with some answers if they're suitable to say on screen. So, and if not, we'll still say them.
We'll find a way to word it correctly.
Yeah. So
that's right.
27 people watching so far. So thank you guys. And for the ones in the shadows, thank you. Make sure you hit the like button. And I hope you enjoy it. So Keith, you're driving. I'm sure the side chat can see that. So
it depends. Are any of them in law enforcement?
Exactly.
If that's the case, no. I'm in Mexico. It's a green screen, but I thought, hey, let's be different.
Yeah, I hear you. And Bill says, it went better than planned for me. And I have to say, Bill, I agree, buddy. I got to I've met Bill before at TMMR, but I actually got to hang out with him more at SmokeOut than I did TMMR, and I was very glad to. Just the crew all around, man, it was a great scene. If you guys missed it, man, you need to plan that. I'm not going to say rally. I'm going to say event, because it's an event to me. It's not a riding rally or none of that. So, all right, Keith, or do you want to ask a question or anything?
Yeah, so let's start with this. So for Ray, for you and the Thumpers, was this your first year at the SmokeOut, or have you been going to the event for a number of years?
It was my first time at SmokeOut. It was our
first time.
Gotcha. And so, with that in mind, I know, and I know that I think Bill asked the question, did you have expectations? And I think you already answered, said no, you didn't. But so let's start out with, for people that have not been to the SmokeOut, what could they expect if they go next year? So 2024 SmokeOut. What kind of what's the lay of the land as you guys see it?
So it is a camp out style party with every event you could want. They have mini bike racing, they have drag racing, dirt drag racing, and you can do that because Bill even rode. You see the chopper in his screen? I think it's the green one, right?
Yes.
Bill raced the green chopper down. Now this thing is a foot clutch, stick shift, suicide shift with little bunny ears, and he literally drag raced it 3 or 4 times. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It has the Booby Show. It has tons of concerts. They literally had bands pretty much all the time playing up until midnight, 1 o'clock.
And the biggest band there was Drowning Pool Friday night. Yeah. So if anybody knows who they are.
Chris and Heather put on a fabulous show. Like, you couldn't want anything more.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that this morning. Like if they were to ask, and I think they did, maybe that's why it came to mind. What could we do to improve? And I could not think really of a single thing. I mean, it
Plenty
was
of food
top-notch.
vendors, plenty of drink vendors. No matter if you were down by the track, there was beer girls that had everything. If you were up by the stage, there was bars. If you were over by the vendors,
They had the tough man motor table to table
strongman.
contest, strong man, the strong woman. There was some females racing each other on choppers. They had the ride-in bike show, the Sportster showcase. Then they had the guy from St. Louis, Randall. He has the cycle showcase, and he had that in a private building with good air conditioning. But yeah, he had the cycle showcase in there, and I think that was one of my favorite things. I'd say Bill will agree. The two brothers, the 17-year-old and 19-year-old kids that was there, put their choppers in, their built motorcycles in that show, and they put it in the showcase for them. And just to see the young guys and see Bill, because everybody, if you don't know Bill is, I'm gonna give him some credit here because, man, he's a chopper dude. He builds his own stuff. He knows his mechanics. He knows, his bikes through and through.
Shit, he
Builds
knows
them in a little old shack, in a little old shed. He does great. But to watch him give advice and just talk to these young kids, that is what the generations that's going to keep that chopper alive, that scene, in my opinion. Because you don't see a lot of young people doing it. Not like that, 17 years old, 19 years old, So,
Man.
Bill, it only rained one day, man. In the
yeah,
rain.
and that was just
improvement would be to end the rain. It rained one day and it made it fun.
And that was just off and on, though, really. It would rain for like 10 minutes and stop for an hour and rain again. And it wasn't that hard of a rain except for later that night.
So Chris and Heather put on this event, and a lot of it's donated for Meals on Wheels. They had the chopper show, the cycle or chopper show, and then they had these tank full, which are custom painted, hand painted tanks, and they auction them off. And all the proceeds, the tanks are donated. The painters willingly do this, and all the proceeds goes to the Meals on Wheels. And Dina, well, she's been on a bunch of them, but Dina actually won one.
And it's beautiful. If you haven't seen them, and
put dents in it.
No, let me take it back. You're not allowed to hold it.
I didn't see it anyways. It froze when you dropped it, so we didn't see you drop it.
Nothing happened to it either, so it just
Thank
made
God it's a lot clearer.
it just made it
Only hang it up when you stop for the day.
Yeah, she does that with all the art that she has up. She removes them when we move.
Chris,
Yeah, we've only crushed 4 or 5 photo frames in the 3, but neither here nor there.
Chris says thank you for doing the lives.
Yes.
For those that
because I tried, guys. My service, I did the live on Instagram of the drag racing, and if you was watching it, it was going in and out. So my phone only picked up a few bars in certain areas, and there was a lot of people and metal buildings and stuff like that. So I just didn't have that great of a service.
So that's a good point then. Which provider had good service out there?
We did.
Well,
She went live. So
You guys T-Mobile?
we're Verizon.
We're Verizon, but
I am too.
Okay.
the live was it was off and on. It had some problems when I was in the metal building, but I had heard I watched a lot of those people that walk live through all the different towns, and I remembered them saying that when you go back and set it public afterwards, that YouTube will go back through and compress it to where it doesn't have anything. So,
I agree with you, Chris.
So I haven't looked at it, but my dad said that it was not glitchy anymore. So go back and rewatch it if you want to see it without the glitchiness. Yes,
Chris, I agree with you. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show too. We also run into Lowbrow Customs was there. So if anybody knows them, which I know you guys do, I got me the checkered, the Lowbrow Customs, but I got the yellow tint glasses because I like the yellow tint.
So these are green and black like my bike. That's why I got them.
Yeah.
But I did
Yeah,
get the
that's
yellow
perfect.
tint for night driving. Or
And
just to look cool.
Yeah,
I got something else.
You look
I got
like
some-
Ray the hipster.
I got something else that I've been wanting, some real good stealth gloves, and actually got them from Lead Sled Customs. They were there. So $25, they wasn't bad. They worked great. Of course, I got me a t-shirt and the wife a t-shirt, stuff like that. I don't have it on because it's dirty.
Well,
I was wearing it.
So did
That's a
everybody
natural
see?
segue. Then let's talk about the vendors.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Thumper.
No, you go ahead. You're leading it and asking questions. Stump's just supposed to be answered.
Oh, no, I was gonna say. So, what about what were your thoughts on the vendors? Was anybody doing any installs there, or was it mostly clothing? Anybody new that had something interesting?
No, there was a few clothing. Don't get me wrong. There was everybody had T-shirts, but there was industry driven vendors. So
Lowbrow
Lead
Customs,
Sled,
Sled. I mean, Busted
Lowbrow,
Knuckles,
all
or they were
your chopper crowd was there with
your
their
chopper
stuff.
companies. Yeah.
It wasn't anything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Was it more slanted or directed at the chopper scene, the custom build scene?
Yeah, you
but
didn't see custom dynamics. You didn't see stuff like that. You know, the Clockworks wasn't there. You didn't see
you
things
didn't
like
see
that.
any of your new performance guys
And-
or anything like that.
What
Was industry driven. So you had
Yeah.
FXR guys there in their style. You had a lot of old bikes there, like from the 40s, the 50s. And dude, they were drag racing these old bikes.
yeah,
You had a lot of most vendors were chopper builders themselves.
Yeah.
But you had like every style of bike
Well, that makes sense, though.
that was could be chopped up. You know what
Yeah.
I meant?
and then if they wasn't chopper vendors, the other little vendors were like these little companies that were selling their merch and stuff, and either their custom leather and good vendors, good custom made stuff, or good something that people took time to do.
Like there was a
More vendors that I like to see, in my opinion. I like those vendors because that's when you can find the unique stuff and the things you can't find. That's got nothing against the big rallies with all the big name windshields and
There wasn't any
seats and all that. Yeah, I mean, I like the smaller vendors, the more personal. That's a local business. That's they're getting off their feet, or they're there to they're more of a chopper scene hangout vendor. So
them guys were definitely not getting off their feet. They were all established. Like there was a guy that had
I mean,
Metalworks, and he literally made sissy bars and frames
Yeah.
and
well, I'm talking about that one girl, that Rip Tits girl. She's they had stickers of the Broncos where they ride in the woods and doing things like that. Yeah.
So this is the
Steel
guy
City.
that was doing the Metalworks. He made axes and ball peen hammers to sell for you, but he literally go look at his sissy bars and his down tubes and his frames,
We'll have a reel.
and he does his whole front ends. I mean,
Yep.
that dude was amazing in his portfolio.
You'll see one of the reels I posted, and it's like titled Champagne Taste. The whole entire frame is twisted.
Rebar.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And yes, I did win a pair of gloves XAN the other night on a contest. So thank you for that.
Oh,
Yeah. And
Were
most
they
vendors were
girls'
copper
gloves or were they
builders.
guys'
No,
gloves?
they're men's.
Were they? Was it a wet T-shirt contest that you won?
No,
That was
I
the
didn't go. I didn't go near that. And
I'll
I'll be
have to
honest, I didn't.
When you get to Henry Horton's, I'll have to airdrop it. Each one's about 20 to 25 minutes long, and The first one was a nut, and the second one made the first one look tame as hell.
Yeah. And I stood back far enough. It was so hot under that tent and so crowded. I wasn't getting in under there. And no offense, but I've seen boobies, most of my life. So I mean, I didn't need to gawk. I mean, I seriously, like, my anxiety and stuff. And there was like a lot of people, and it was hot and just where everybody was under there, and I just sit back and like at a distance and watched. So
I was told to hide. So
the food vendors, I think there were plenty of those.
Hi, Amzo Adam.
There was a few. What's up, Amzo Adam? There was a few that was a little high priced, here and there, certain things. But other than that, the food was actually good from the vendors, I thought, or where I eat the food, the taco stand, the burrito taco vendor, the one next to him where they served lemonade in the food there. I did get a couple lemonades. I thought they were good. I didn't get the coffee lemonades because they was a little expensive. So somebody's echoing. Yeah, what's up, Adam? Glad you popped in, buddy. Yeah, Bill. I mean, like you said,
it was definitely a show. we will
What's up, Tiger? And Tiger says he had a great time with us, guys and gals. So, and if nobody didn't know, Tiger showed up with a friend, which was Droop. Droop actually made it Saturday. They showed up Saturday and hung out all day Saturday and Saturday evening. And yeah, it was a good time hanging out and getting to meet up with people. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I saw pictures and video throughout the weekend. I saw a lot of bike games. What else did they? So what did they have? I know like Thumper mentioned a lot of different like dirt track races and so what kind of events could somebody expect?
So they had.
It looked like it was a pretty good time.
On the biker games, they did all of them. They had the slow races. They had the balloon toss. They had the gauntlet. They had the barrel race.
The hot dog.
And then they had, the hot dog eating off the thing race.
Yeah.
So they did all the biker games. They had burnout contest and a burnout pit.
I think they did Dead Man Lift too, or Heaviest Lift or something.
Yeah, they had a couple of they had motors. Like the lifts were actual Harley Davidson motors, different motors.
Oh, that's cool.
For the strongman lift.
Strongest biker, Bill says.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think I've ever seen that, so that's that would be cool.
It's a different experience. It's fun to watch.
The pit bike races, and they had like 3 different classes. They had the modified one, the one that everybody just entered, and then they had the female one.
And there was a company there that actually provided the mini bikes. You could pay them a donation, and you could ride and race one of their bikes. So, and we also know Sandman. So if you guys in the side chat know Sandman, which is Joe, which most of you do, he was there and he raced and he had a dud bike. It kept dying on him, and I felt so bad for him. Yeah, I felt so bad for him because that damn little, mini bike would not do nothing. So,
if Sandman ever offers to cook you a roast, a butt, shoulder, whatever the hell he cooked, take him up on it. That thing was delicious.
That one night he invited us down to his camper and he cooked for about 8 or 9 of us and Gremlin. I mean, we can't leave out Gremlin, man. He was with Sandman. He was camping with him, and so I got to meet Gremlin for the first time. I got to meet Tom for the first time. Twin Kim Tom. So he's a great dude, great chef, great bartender, I should say. Made me a couple of drinks. Really, really good guy all around, man. Like I said, hanging out with Tom and getting to meet Tom and Bill. I've met Bill before, but it was briefly at TMMR. So, getting to actually hang out with them, man, those guys, hands down, is just fun to be around.
Well, you can never have too many good chefs or too many good bartenders.
Wheeze in the mouth.
That's a good problem to have.
Uh,
So we'll talk about the camping and accommodations. I know some people are staying in hotels or motels.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people are camping.
So they had every type of camping you could want. They had hookups. They had boondocking. If you were in campers or anything like that, they had tent camping. They even had a
sleep
couple
under
of
your bike camping.
people had slung hammocks up in. And
They were actually. It was at a fairgrounds, and if anybody knows about the stockyard at a fairgrounds, it's an open building, where they keep the animals in the stockyard in the little separate, cages, gates, or whatever. So yeah, there was quite a few that set up tents in there, and then they set up the hammocks from side to side, and that's how they slept. Or if they did, even if they made it back, or maybe they just fell asleep in the dirt, that's the kind of place it was. So, and let's talk about your experience, Thumper, about your camper. How did you get back to the vendor section?
So we'll say that in just a minute. But yes, so they were smelling good. No, because they actually had showers. There's literally like restrooms and showers on site. So
nice.
Even if you were tent camping, you could grab a shower. And yeah, Bill says that they weren't the greatest, but they weren't the worst.
Well, yeah.
Well, it wasn't a hose on the ground, right?
No, it was actually showers. And if you was an early bird like me, you get up and which I didn't have to use it. I used the Thumper shower head, so that's good. I didn't have to sit in there with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
But if you're an early bird, you get up and you go in there and you get it to yourself, and shower and get out before anybody gets around, and and nobody's paying attention anyways. They're just hungover. They want breakfast and they want to shower and eat. So it ain't prison, so they're not gonna.
So let's tell you about how the Thumpers ended up in the vendor section yet again. So we showed up. I just serviced the generator. We show up. I go to crank it. It runs for about 90 seconds and dies. What the hell? All right. So I crank it up again. It runs for about 90 seconds and dies. Then it no longer cranks up. So I call, which is in Charlotte, Cummings, and I tell them what happened. They're like, it sounds like the fuel pump or the fuel filter. I said, well, I'll buy both. Where do I go? And the fuel pump is out 126 days, and the closest fuel filter was in Florida. I'm like, that's ironic because I'm in North Carolina and just left Florida. So we go. I tell her, look, let's go to the Tractor Supply and get a generator. We'll just buy one. We'll at least be able to run 2 ACs. We won't be able to run all 3. So we pull up. She's like, look, let me see if somebody canceled. So I pulled over. She went and talked to Chris, and the awesome dude he is, he said, yeah, I had a taco truck just cancel on it. So I have a vendor spot. They showed us where it was, and we're like, yeah, we'll take it. No problem. So Heather and Chris accommodated us, threw us in there. We had water, we had power, everything we could ask for.
But I have to give, Chris and Heather are absolutely amazing people. I mean, they do a great job in everything they do. But the fact that he took his time out, and he had no idea who we were. I mean, not that we are anybody, but he didn't even know my name. He had no idea. Just the fact that he took the time in the middle of the craziest, most hectic setup to go and find a spot for someone he knew nothing about. Like, he could have just as easily said, no, I don't have anything. Sorry, ma'am. And go on about his day, his extremely busy day. But he put me on the golf cart and drove me all over the place trying to find power. And finally was like, well, if you don't mind being right here. I mean, they are amazing people. Like, I don't think I've ever met another couple that hustles as hard as they do.
Yeah, they
put everybody ahead of themselves. They're amazing.
Yeah, like to the fact that Friday night we were at the rig, we got some pizza. It was all of us, wasn't it? It was like 2:30 in the morning. It was everybody was sitting down at the rig, and here comes a truck picking up the trash. And it's freaking Chris. It's the owner of the show.
He's doing the work. Yeah, he could have easily sent some workers to do it, but he's doing it himself.
Collecting all the trash cans to get them clean for the next morning.
Yep. And not only that, I mean, come on, like Monkey said, look here. The guy has been inducted into the Sturgis, Hall of Fame. He's a hamster now. He's in that top league class, but he's a great dude. He doesn't act like that. I've met them 4 different occasions. They did 4 great people. I mean, we'll take the time out, like you said, to talk to you, to speak to you. But now this is their baby now, so I think I like the way he thought, because he knows if he does it, it gets done instead of just sending someone out to do it. But I believe the workers would have done it with no problem because they all had, they were all running around making sure everything was taken care of, things like that. And I just want to say, hello to Gus. Hey, buddy, it was good meeting you guys. Glad you guys showed up and hung out with us. So Gus and his wife are fans they come from Monkey's channel, and they seen us on last week when we were on talking, and so they came over to SmokeOut and introduced herself and got to hang out with, just some regular people like us because we're just regular people. And, I think they had a good time, and I hope they did. So, all right, Bill.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Ray, I think it's a good time to talk about this episode's sponsor, X-Lax, keeps us regular people. Back to our
us, or is that y'all?
What happened?
Nothing. I'm
think we're. I think I'm good.
I'm glad you had a good time, buddy.
Make sure you make a left. It's coming up.
Well, my ramp is under construction, so I've got to do a U-ing. So I'm multitasking, but making that happen. I'm also channeling Tom. So I'm trying to get as much in the dark as possible without actually getting into his trunk. So. So talking about Chris, and again, I don't know him either. But I was going to say, most people who are very successful do not have an ego, right. And so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. Like, I mean, we were there with some major bike builders. I mean, top, of their class bike builders, and all the hamsters and everybody was so cool and so willing to just
turn left on I-57 South, then exit right.
Include you, tell you about their bikes, their builds. It was awesome.
And not only did they have theirs out on display, and they have beautiful bikes, but man, I have to say, dude, seeing some of those people roll in, they got some crazy choppers and some beautiful choppers too. It ain't just the hamsters, you know what I mean? There's a lot of just regular dudes out there that's building some awesome stuff, So, I mean, it's a show that you need to really go to get the full experience and to stay there and camp. Now, if you don't want to tent camp, you ain't got an RV like me, they do have hotels, and they ain't far down the street, I don't believe. You could just buy the weekend pass and go in every day, What's up, Busted Knuckles?
We are in Tennessee.
They are sitting in Tennessee.
Yeah. I'm currently just south of Chicago, by the way. So,
Oh,
Wow.
that's Hayden.
That's
Yeah.
dirty. What's up,
I,
Quasimodo?
yeah. Well, this is penance for something, I'm certain.
Morning. What's up, DDK? What's going on, buddy?
So we're here for 5 days.
Mhm.
We're here for 5 days, and then we move further west, still in Tennessee, for a few days, and then we head to Arkansas. We're going to Eureka's Flathead Rally and Bike Blues and Barbecue.
Boy, that looks like that's going to be fun too, man.
We were going to go to Ocean City, but they want all the money to stay there. For 5
I
days,
bet they
it's
do.
going to cost us $1,500 to go to Ocean City. We were like, nope, that's like 2 different campgrounds and 5 days in both of them.
Yeah, Gus, me too, buddy.
So
I plan on being there next year again.
Canceled till next time.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lan.
Hi, Lynn.
Is that Tom's?
Yes, Tom's Lynn.
Oh,
Well, so for the people that's on his channel that I can't see, hello.
be able to see everybody.
I don't see her unless I missed her.
I
don't
think
think
she's
they're-
in chat. I think
Yeah.
she's in text.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
texting
okay.
me for watching it. Are these mine or yours? You're yours.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't see her in the side chat, but hello. Yeah. Don't stop and ask for directions. It will be like the scene off of National Lampoon's Vacation.
That's
Yeah.
right. I'm not even from here. I'm on vacation from the south side of Chicago.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, for my first time, man, I think the one thing they could improve about it, honest to God, I was thinking about it there for a few minutes. If it had the place to do it, which I don't believe they really do, because the hill they do have ain't big enough. If they had a hill climb, you know, that would be just, I mean, it would be great. You know what I mean? That they have a hill and some moron just thought he had to, I mean, run up it with, you know, until he flipped his bike and just, he was so drunk. He was a one-man party show. Seriously, like he got down on the drag races,
Oh, yeah.
on the drags, and was not going to stop until they, by God, let him go. And they wouldn't let nobody drag against him, and they let him run it by himself because he was so messed up.
So
They stopped him. They turned his bike off. I mean, yeah, he was like he was doing a burnout right there behind there. All these choppers that were racing and just trying to, I mean, he was like that one man, and they were like, dude, if you got buddies out there and they're drunk, you know, they were just dogging the shit. And they were like, hey, you know, kind of help your person to their bed, you know, or something, maybe, you know, take a break. And yeah, they saved him big time. But before that happened, before he was doing the burnout there and trying to race and get wild, he had come through, you know, the opposite direction and came up and hit the hill, and the whole bike flipped and everything. And I mean, he was blistered.
It
He
shouldn't have
shouldn't
been funny, but it was funny because
Yeah.
of how he was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good thing to watch, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? You wanted to laugh, but you wanted to be like, okay, seriously, like he's way too messed up. Somebody get his keys. So, I mean, and I've got quite a bit of video of stuff, and I just haven't went through it. So
Yeah, the problem with all those old,
Go for it.
heck, most of them are hot wired anyway, you know, and kickstart.
no, I think he was on like a
take his
fat boy.
keys. Like,
No,
you
he
got a
was on
key?
like. No,
Take
he
his
was on a
kickstand.
soft tail. No, he was on a soft tail. He had actually a for sale sign on it.
Oh,
And they
okay.
were saying, and after he flipped it and wrecked it, the announcer guy, he was sitting there saying, "Bike for sale, barely used, maintained." You know, they were laughing at him, you know, and saying, "This bike is for sale," you know. So Thanks,
Tiger had
Tiffany.
a big pool. Now I agree, Tiger, to some extent, but there would have to be a lot of chlorine.
to put up a pool, or
Yeah.
that's what I told Monkey and him. I was like, "Look, man, we should have brought one of those kiddie pools." It was actually humid during the day, wasn't it? It was really hot. It was humid. The last day it finally cooled off from the rain. That next, that evening finally a little bit, but it wasn't much. But it's doable.
So
I
their
mean, it's just
announcers. Let's get back to their announcers. Their announcers are Jack Shit and
Yeah.
Roadside Marty. And if you go to any rally, Roadside Marty. He does all the wet t-shirt contests. He's the crazy MC, and Jack Shit is probably at 99% of them too. Actually, Roadside Marty was inducted into the SmokeOut Hall of Fame this year, along with a guy named Teach, which was really cool. And like just to see that they have a great history. And they actually, in the front room, when you first walk into the air conditioned building that had the bike show, they had the history of SmokeOut. And this thing has been a wild time for a long time.
Yeah.
So who? What was the coolest thing? Whether it was a bike or a personality, what was the coolest thing that you encountered at the SmokeOut?
Raysmotolife.
There you go.
That's a good answer.
Oh gosh, that's tough.
Actually, honestly, I agree. Just hanging out with the Thumpers, Monkey, Bill, Tom, Tiger,
Definitely the people.
The people has to be. Just talk. And for me, it would be honestly getting to actually sit down and talk to these builders, because they take time to sit down and talk to you on every detail, how they do things, and just so hanging out with the crew that the guys that we've agreed to meet up there and have fun with. But yeah, a lot of the builders, I think getting to talk to them on a personal level, that was one of my favorite parts. So,
well, and that's cool too. Go ahead, Thumper.
Meeting taco vendor people, stoner pizza vendors, that are idiots. I think they froze.
Yeah, don't underestimate pizza and tacos, man.
Yeah, they had chicken wing vendor, but if y'all really know me, I don't eat chicken wings. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, that is if there was a Ray's Moto vlog
maybe they'll come back
trivia contest, that'd be the thing I think I could win on. You don't eat chicken.
Yep.
You got inside information.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of voices he saw that.
So the back to what we were before we froze. Look, it's 100% the people. Every morning I had to walk the dog that she made me. Literally, Dave Perowitz, which if you know bike painting, this guy is like royalty in bike painting. Every morning he's sitting in his chair drinking his cup of coffee, telling me good morning and waving to me as I'm walking the idiot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I had an experience running too with another one.
Corey Sosa's sitting over there, and like they're just friendly. They like I'm sitting here holding my dog, talking to Perowitz and Sosa, which huge names in the industry, and they just act like you're one of them. They just talk to you like they know you.
Yep. And I had an experience with. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's a key point to make here is where, say it like at Sturgis or Daytona, which is, and I'm going to say it's more commercial. That may not be the exact proper term, but it's certainly much more commercialized and a little more structured, maybe, where somebody like that would have a handler. They would be expected, you've got to be here and here and here, and you're not going to have that relaxed interaction with people like that at other types of rallies, whereas at here you did, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And no, Zen, I'm not named after Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm named out of the Bible and my father. So, but no, let me tell my little experience. Okay, this hamster come walk. I was walking back to the RV, and I see this big, tall, bald goatee, and it wasn't Dave. You know, it's a big, taller one. This hamster guy, and he's looking at me, and I can tell when someone's looking at me, but I'm kind of turning around to kind of wondering if this dude really looking at me, and he's smiling from ear to ear, and I just keep looking at him. He gets all the way up to me, and he just grabs my hand and gives me a hug, and he's like, "I did not know you was going to be here," and I was like, "Who do you think I am?" And he started naming this guy off and like from Minnesota or Michigan or something. I was like, no, sorry, buddy. I'm not your friend. You know, he thought I was this dude that he had knew years ago. And
He thought you were
was
Ray
like,
Stevens.
yeah, I'm telling you, he was like, oh, okay. And then he still took time to speak to me, you know, and talk and everything. So he was really, I mean, just a real nice guy. I mean, they were all, you know, real nice. I mean, they didn't have that attitude or none of that, you know, and of, you know, hey, I'm a hamster, I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Because they have raised millions of dollars for the charities they've done. And I mean, and getting recognized at an event. Now, I have to say that threw me off more than anything. I was shocked when someone come up to me and recognized me from this platform. Now, remind you, I have met other channels, and I've, you know, and I've been kind of, oh, you know, people has met me like that, and I've known other channels to meeting people. That's a great experience. Don't get me wrong. But for someone that I don't know to come up and say, you're Raysmotolife, right? And I kind of was just like quiet. Like I didn't say, I was stunned. Like you know, that was the first time I actually had somebody to say, hey, you know, ask who, you know, if I was this person and that. And with my anxiety and my brain works, you know, I was like, yeah, I was in shock, I should say. Because I'm not nothing. I'm just a person. You know what I mean? And so that was a weird but good feeling. Did
anybody
yeah.
ask you if you had the week off from Branson, or ask you to sing The Streak?
Nope.
Because you do look a little bit like old Ray Stevens, you know.
I guess.
Do you know who? Have you ever heard The Streak? Ray, do you know who Ray Stevens is?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's running through the grocery store, and
Or the great Mississippi Squirrel Revival.
yeah.
I think that's in the.
He's the one that tells them to shoot up in the tree because you got to save one of us.
Yep. And Adam says he got to meet Dave Peretz about 15 years ago in Daytona. Yes, he is a good guy, man. He's very polite. They got him. I don't know if I should say this or not, but they actually made him get on stage during the booby contest and pouring the water on?
Contest.
Yeah, wet T-shirt. Okay. Yeah. Well, there wasn't no T-shirts involved, so come on, you know that.
There was supposed to be, and they were putting water on the shirts originally.
Yeah.
They just didn't last long.
Yeah, there was the shirts. It shouldn't have been T-shirt contest. It should have just been the nicest rack contest.
It turned into more than just the front.
Yeah. So
It turned in, the last night one turned into, holy God, what am I watching here?
yeah, thank you, Jamin. Yeah, I'm just regular, man. I'm just a regular dude. Let's see. Tiger's saying, I know I was only there a day, but I never seen any kind of fighting going on. No, you didn't. So the crowd was very mellow. I mean, you know, yay, party, yeah, having fun. But yes, they were good, man. There was just, other than, like I said, that guy drinking on and, you know, riding his bike a little too much, you know, there was nothing. Yeah, I know what you meant, buddy. You know, so Gus says this was my first time there and took so much in, seeing all the bikes and experience. Okay, y'all were great guides for us. Well, thank you, buddy. I sure appreciate it. I hope you had a good time.
Shit, I was lost all the time. Well,
Hollywood Ray.
Must have been you, Ray, because I wasn't guiding shit. I was wandering all over.
Well, you know me. I talk to anybody and everybody and not say anything bad, Gus. I talk, and I I don't see strangers. I see just, people and I talk to whoever. So,
Yeah. What's the old saying? Strangers are just friends you hadn't met yet.
yep, that's right. And Tiger says, I agree, Gus. Ray took me around and showed me everything. Thank you. You're welcome, buddy. And as a first timer being there, I didn't really know everything either. I was just going off, the cuff, man. I was just, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I think Jamin, I think Adam's back to work. I'm not for sure. Okay, XAN says no thumper. That is a Jerry Clown. Okay,
Oh,
Jerry.
he's the one that sung told the story about being up in a tree with a squirrel or something and shoot up, relieve one of us.
It was a raccoon. He asked Uncle Marcel to shoot up amongst us. One of us has got to have some relief.
Yep. Man, people watching this is the best, Lone Cowboy says. And if you don't know who that is, man, go check out his channel. Man, he's a great guy. He does some live streams. He does some great videos.
Zen,
I'm not.
Nobody got into fights. There was a couple of incidences, but they were done and over, and they were all within that area and with each other. It wasn't.
It was not
any.
Yeah, there was many clubs there. It just wasn't. It had nothing to do with anybody of us. Internal stuff. So there wasn't anyone against anybody doing anything like that. So, hello, sweetie. Bill says, let's see. Okay. There were two problems and were squashed very quick. Both involved mushrooms taking. Yeah, exactly.
Were they portobello?
No, they were not portobello. They were see another fellow type.
Yeah.
Did they see Jesus?
They saw many of Jesus's mushrooms.
Adam, I've done the same thing to you, buddy. I went up to Adam in Daytona at the Speedway and introduced myself and my camera, and he was doing his camera and and like I said, that feeling was weird, for a minute. And then after it clicked in my brain, then my brain started working back. So, yeah, and there ain't nobody going to change me.
I was about to say, if you've been to a bike event and Ansel Adam hasn't changed your oil, well,
he hasn't changed my oil. What's up, Tweedledee? Yeah, he hasn't changed my oil, but I have met him.
He changes all of our oils and all of our bikes.
But like Adam mentioned before, he not only, we just are on briefly, we're on YouTube briefly and y'all see us briefly and we go on and finish the rally, but he interacts with everybody all day long, every day through the rally while doing his full-time job. So I commend his ability to be able to tolerate it day in and day out.
Oh, yeah, because there's
great lives. Daily. He's doing his job and making sure his company's still going. So, yeah, that dude's amazing.
I don't know how you
hell of a lot more attention to detail than I got.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean,
wait, attention to what?
Exactly. I have no details.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the tacos was great. The burrito, the breakfast. Oh my Lord, that. I think that was one of my favorite meals. Was the breakfast burrito.
And so you guys,
Tom had tacos. Them was great.
Yeah. Well, you guys mentioned that it's really not it's not a riding rally. It's not an event where you're going out and riding. I'm assuming you could find some roads. Right. But it sounds like I said, there are some events where it's really about the people and it's about making the connections and hanging at the hang. Right. And so, I mean, that's what this sounds like. It's just a great hang.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a camp out. Yeah, you don't even need to. Yeah, I had to because I had to ride over there. My transportation over there. So.
But I mean, you could drive over in a car and hang out and have just as much fun. you know, because you're just there chilling with everybody and looking at the bikes that did, you know, show up for the
Don't
shows.
tell everybody they don't need to bring bikes because we need stuff to look at and talk about.
Yeah, no,
Right.
or like if you can't make it on your bike, and you're going to camp there all weekend, you know, you can drive your car, your truck with your tent and pull back there in the lot and sleep in your car, your tent, whatever you need to do, your van, or you know. But yeah,
Don't get me
bring your
wrong.
motorcycles if you can.
If you wanted to venture out, you're in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? There's roads to venture out too if you wanted to venture out, but you're probably going to miss some cool shit going down at the rally if you
Yep.
do. Because literally, like here, I took pictures of it. So that I could actually find out what was going on when. So literally Friday, from every hour on the hour, they had stuff going. Saturday, every hour on the hour, they had stuff going. And
So what were some of the other events? Like I'm assuming, like you said, I think you guys mentioned there's some bike show. There's a lot of bike shows.
Yep,
he said he felt more driving on than the rally.
Probably true.
Yeah, Bill. Jeff, the dirt spot, it doesn't matter if it's RV or dirt. They told me if you would have got an early prepaid, $90, $99, something like that, I believe. If you paid at the gate, it was $120 for all from Thursday to Sunday. So, wasn't bad.
They had, I'll tell you what shows they had. They had the FXR show. They had the Parowitz paint show. They had the Strong Biker, World's Strongest Biker. They had Beer Belly and Beard Contest. They had the Shade Tree Bike Games. They had the Burnout Contest. They had the Wet T-Shirt Contest. They had the Custom Bike Show. They had the Sportster Showdown. They had the mini bike races, and they had the Sportster drag races. They had a tattoo contest. They had, yes, they had a lot. They had the Chopper Dirt Drags, and then the Wet T-Shirt contest again, and then the Hall of Fame introduction. So there was tons of shit. It was packed shit to do. Plus you had all the drinking, all the eating, all the hanging out and bullshitting. You had everything you could want in a camp out style event.
Yep.
That's very cool. Well, and that's the big part too, right? It's like not having to leave to go eat, or if you know. Now, is there a place to get groceries? Like, so like folks that like got campers, and you can go grab groceries right before you get there.
Yes. Now, Tiger drove me about 200 yards down the road. I could have walked, but it started raining after I got there to a Dollar General, I should say. But yes, there's a little town a few miles down the road. Dina, you went places. You can tell them. I mean,
Yeah.
They had Food Lions, and they had it's actually a decent sized town.
Yeah.
It's a fairground at a decent sized town.
Yeah, it's just when you come in off the kind of the interstate to where the fairground is, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, but it's actually a really big, it's a really big town, not city. It's a much larger town than you think it is.
Plus the cycle showcase, because I feel like a lot of people walked right past it because it was actually on the outside of the gates in a metal building, and it said legendaries or legends, and that's where the cycle showcase was in that building. But yeah, Bill says Walmart's 8 minutes down the road. So, I mean, it's something to put on your calendars, in my opinion. You really need to get the full, hey, there's my man right there, guys. Look at her. How are you doing, buddy? Yes, Full Throttle Magazine. This guy is one stand-up guy. I mean, he set up his booth right next to the RV of the Thumpers.
Well,
and we
first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, his rig was there. He had a boxed-in trailer with a Survey car. So, and
whoever's a moderator, tag his name and share his link.
Yes, Evil Rick. if you don't care. I'm telling you guys right now, I mean, go check him out. Check his channel out. He has the magazine. He is in this year, 25 years in this magazine. Just him and his wife, both stand-up people, man. I can't say enough. Very kind, very nice. And we did. There was a few of us that helped him, move the trailer and got his service car out and stuff like that. And I have to say, the next day, somebody come in with a big truck and chicken wing vendors and took his spot. So we had me and him, we moved his stuff, over to the front gate. And so there's the link, guys. Please go check him out. And like I said, I mean, can't ask for a nicer guy. Stand up. He takes a lot of photos because that's what he does. But yeah, what's up, Motorzilla? Motor in the Galaxy, I mean. I thought I seen Motorzilla in here. No, okay. So, yeah, what's going on, Dallas? Hello, buddy.
So Dallas, in like 5 days, we're gonna be.
He says, "Save my weekend for what y'all do." Yeah,
we're gonna be in Colombia. So, well, I think we're in Lebanon, just outside of Colombia.
Yeah, Lebanon, and then I don't think we saved your weekend because, buddy, I meeting you and stuff. I know you'd have figured it out. So I think we just kind of, what we always do in this community, give each other a hand. So I think that's just how it works. And I've been learning that a lot over the last 2 days. I'm sure most of you have seen my post. So
when is the event already on the schedule for next year?
For sure.
Can people start saving the dates?
I'm not for sure about that yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they got dates, but it'll be about the same time as this year. It's always
so kind of early to mid-September, kind of.
Right. It's always about this weekend.
Well, they just brought it back, so I don't.
No,
this is the second year I think they brought it back, or third, maybe second or third. Yeah. So I think as long as
it's been going on 19 since.
Yeah, but it died out for a couple because of some things. But yeah, they brought it.
Thank you, Lone Star Cowboy. Lone Cowboy Adventures.
Thank you.
Lone Star. I'm thinking of the damn rally.
Yeah. I mean, they have a website, the SmokeOut Rally website. You can go and look it up. They have, I'm sure, second year back. Yeah, that's what I thought, Bill. Second year back. But for them doing it, I think they pulled it off great. For me going the first time and experience it, I thought it was great. I mean, the only issues I had there was none. The only issues I had was on the way back. So,
yeah. Well, here's a question for you guys. So, what did you do that you wish you had done more of, or not do that you wish you had done? And also, kind of on the second part of that is, like, people that are coming for the first time, say next year, what do they definitely need to bring, not need to bring that you thought you would need, right? Like, what's something where you thought, oh shit, man, I wish I'd
definitely bring a pit bike. Definitely bring a pit bike.
And a backup generator for the thumpers.
Yeah. We just next rally it'll be something else. So I mean, it is what
always.
A pit bike is definite, even if you don't plan on racing, to have either a chopper or a little pit bike, something just to put around, up and around the whole fairgrounds.
You get to look.
There you go, Bill. That was good, Bill, because I actually went down the road and got cash back at the dollar store. So
there you go.
Yeah, bring cash because there wasn't no ATM. Yes, that's one thing they could have had set
discounts from the vendors if you paid in cash.
Yeah,
some of the vendors only were taking cash. So
also, if you're in the ATM business, here's an opportunity.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So what was the first part of your question again?
So what did you do there that you wish you had done more of?
Hello. Look there.
And then what's something maybe that you didn't do that later you heard about and you'd like, well, next year I want to make sure I see that or do that. Or maybe like you didn't maybe you weren't in the races and then you thought, son of a gun, that looks
No,
like
I'd have
fun.
been in them. Yeah, if I'd known that I could have done it, yes, I would have done it in a heartbeat. Yeah, I didn't know that you could just pay them $20 and go and race, and they would provide
Right.
the bike,
Yeah, wreck their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're
Well-
super slow, so you're not going to win.
So pit bike, if you bring a pit bike, you could do everything, because that's one thing that we didn't do
could
that we
drag
wanted.
race,
You could drag race.
yeah.
It was dirt drag racing, and them guys were.
Yeah, you did. Hell, you could took your bike, any bike you drove there or anything and drag raced,
Bill drag raced his damn green chopper. So
And I think it's just a 600 and something or something. I mean, it's
Yamaha.
yeah. So, and he won everyone but one. He got close there at the end on that one, got him, finally. But he was winning every time. You got to think, you're in dirt. You know what I mean? Really dirt. And I mean, he's got a suicide shift, and he's dogging it. So I've got some video. I just ain't putting nothing together yet. I've been busy. So, yeah. So yes,
and again, for people that don't know, I know it's in North Carolina, but where exactly in North Carolina?
Salisbury, like Salisbury.
North Carolina.
Yeah, it's definitely one that everybody needs to go to.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure.
yeah, it did haul ass, man. Yeah,
Like, I would say, if you have to skip almost all of them to make sure you're at that one is the one to be at.
Yeah.
and that's me. I'm working some other things around, and that will be definitely on the list every year. So
You get to meet and hang out with cool ass people. You get to have a great time. If you're a drinker,
he said
get
it's
drunk sideways. I think Bill got drunk 3 times in the same day. He drunk himself sober.
It's just, he circled back on himself.
yeah, it's on the east side of the state. Yeah, it didn't take long once I got through Asheville, North Carolina. I mean, 100 miles, I guess, or 115 miles left after I got to Asheville. So it took me 6 hours. It was a 5-hour 19 on my GPS. I stopped 3 times. I grabbed something, a little pack of donuts, ate them, smoked a cigarette, got gas, and then I stopped again and got gas. And then I had to stop and take my jacket or my vest and my flannel off because it was good and nice in 60s, 70s all the way through Tennessee. As soon as I got to Asheville, it's like the devil opened the door. I mean, it was just heat. And so I stopped 3 times and I still got there in 6 hours. So whoever wanted to bet in the side chat, there you go. I made it in 6 hours. And that's no lie. I don't care if you don't believe me or not. Oh, and I did get me another souvenir. Hang on. I got it on.
So it's actually kind of in the dead middle of the state.
Oh yeah, so it's not in the mountains. It's but it's not in the coastal region either. So
Yeah, no, it's pretty much in the dead middle of the state.
Adam, you should definitely come, relax, have fun, do something that that would be awesome.
If you want to do something small as a vendor, if not, just come and hang out, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't even have to do a vendor. Just come up and hang out because
Come enjoy it.
yeah,
yeah, and you have to enjoy it. Yeah, if I could tell anybody what to bring plenty of t-shirts because it's hot and humid. And I think I changed about 3 t-shirts a day because I was sweating because my health, anyways, guys. So I had to go back and cool off a few times, in the air condition, and that's just me. You guys may not be like that, but shorts.
how many wet
bumpers.
t-shirt contests did you enter? Right?
Only 2, but
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like Thumper told me, hey, bring shorts. I took a couple pair of shorts, and you definitely need them. And I had 2 pair of pants, but still, I wore a pair of pants for a while, and then I was like, nope, got to go. So definitely be relaxable. Bring clothes you can relax in, flip flops. I mean, just because it's just a chill place. I mean, and then Bill says 738 miles for him. So I mean, it's Michigan. They come all the way down. All right, Doc says he's still here, working on the backside. Okay, working on your backside. I don't think that. I don't know.
I don't think that's his profession.
working on your backside or like working on your backside?
I mean, actually going to try to go next year as well, not as a vendor. There you go. I just want to go and okay.
Must be cloudy.
And Tindy. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's man. You experience it a lot more as an attendee. Just go and have fun. Oh, Goliath.
There's room.
Yeah, you can park Goliath and every other piece of equipment you can attach to it.
Yeah,
Dude, there's a
It's
field
a
that's
big field.
yeah, it's a fairgrounds. Yeah, I mean it's.
But is
You
it a
guys figure
firm?
that out.
But is it a firm grounds?
Yes.
Yes,
I mean, we parked out in the field first, and when we landed, it was solid. We didn't mash in or nothing, and we're heavy as hell.
Right.
Goliath is actually a class. I think that's like a Super C.
Yeah,
It's a big.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen his. I've been right next to his rig. Yeah.
So
And he's
for
got the trailer.
Yeah. So
Yep.
for Frogzilla and Lolly, 513 miles. I think it was 3 something for me. 6. It was 5 hours 19 minutes. I think it was like 328 or something, or 3 feet. 3. I don't know. It was somewhere in that area. Wasn't that bad. I mean, I was comfortable. You know, I hit cruise control. My seat is a Mustang. Not trying to just throw that out there because I don't deal. It was on the bike when I bought it, but it's comfortable enough. You know, I had no issues on the way there, anyways, or comfortable wise. You know, so yeah. I mean, like I said, I would advise people to take shorts and just relaxing clothes to just have fun in. You don't have to take everything, that you need to be, like you're riding. Because I got there Thursday, I parked the motorcycle, and it did not even get started back till Sunday morning. I left. So, I mean, I never moved the bike. It sit in the same spot. So, and that was the intention. I did not plan on riding anywhere. I wanted to enjoy that place. So, and that's what I did.
Yeah, and look, there's enough people around that run back and forth to the store. You don't even need to ride your bike. You can catch a ride with somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally, dude, the camaraderie and that is overwhelming.
Yeah. You're in NorCal? Yeah, you got a long ride, buddy.
Bubba, you better fly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that, it needs to be on everybody's rally list. If you're that kind of person, you like to go to rallies or event. I don't call it a rally. I call it an event. It's a weekend or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday camp out, I should say. I think it should be a chopper camp out. That's what I call it. But some people call it rallies. I just call it a chopper camp out, and I think that basically is what it is. It's one big fun party. So for 4 days,
Well, that's what the original rallies were. That's why they call it a rally, because the original rallies were bikers that rode in to hang out and camp,
play the games, do the games, do
yeah.
the events,
Right. So it is the original chopper rally. So it is,
because that's what. Go ahead. I think that's where people get confused, because there's so many people that talk about going riding in Sturgis, Laconia, Daytona, they think the rally nowadays, and I have too, I get it watered down and mixed, because a lot of people, they say rally, they think automatically, okay, we're going to go ride, walk down a main street, have fun, blah, 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 So
yes,
a lot of
like
people.
Born Free, but it's
What's up, bad boy? Can you bring your own beer? Why, sure. You can bring it all in you want. I seen the SUV pull up with like 25 cases, and they unloaded. Alcohol is welcome. Dallas says, Zen, can you bring me a beer? I think they are froze again. Let's drop them out for just a second until he fixes that. So Dallas, obviously you're being busy at work, buddy. I hope everything's all right. I hope you not getting too hot. So
I think that ship has sailed, man.
Yeah.
I was in Tuscaloosa this weekend, and
There they
it
are.
was in the 90s. Oof.
There they are. There you go. I didn't
It
want to
must
leave you
be-
on the screen stuck.
I left the Starlink on the ground. I didn't put it up on top of the rig. It's just sitting out there on the ground, so
It's getting
it
blocked.
didn't blocked. Yes,
Well,
I had a stroke again.
Yeah.
But yes,
Zen,
Zen, you can bring anything. I don't care what it is.
Zen
They
Man
have-
had his own keg, his own brewing company. He actually had his own brewer set up outside his
He had
camper.
He could have been a full-fledged restaurant and bar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're. Now they did have a rules thing. I did post last week. It was like no weapons, no animals, no glass, or no, I don't know, golf carts. There was some stuff,
Yeah, but none of them rules existed. It was
But-
just like a joke because
Yeah.
dude, there was dudes walking around with gun on their hip. The one there was,
Yeah.
We had our dogs, so I mean, everybody, and then literally like during the races and all that, they kept saying, "We don't want to put rules on it. Just go have fun. Don't kill yourself."
Yeah,
You know?
and they
That's a
made.
good rule.
They did take care. They did make sure like people wasn't, they were, very firm on people at the end of the track, the camper, and because like they said, the last year they had put some dirt down for the drag tracks and stuff. And this year them guys chipped in and actually drug the dirt and built pretty much a big drag track. So,
Jamming, I did not see any kids, which that is not a place you want to take your kid.
no, it's
Leave
21
kids
and
out.
up. It's 21 and up. There's no children allowed, it was 21 and up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
There
no
was one
children.
guy that
They didn't ID me. I don't think they ID'd anybody. And Bill, and the two kids that built the choppers, they were 17 and 19 walking around. They were in there. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't let my 5-year-old go, and I don't think they'd want that either, but
Dallas
there's
had crazy.
yeah,
What was Dallas's crazy day?
I guess working in this heat and all this stuff. So I said something a minute ago about hope, the day wasn't too bad.
Somebody paid him to put concrete on a lake, maybe.
I'm telling you. Yeah, don't be a dick. Yeah, that was one of the rules.
There were signs everywhere that said "Don't be a dick."
That's
Yeah.
a good rule.
Yeah, and
Listen, everybody followed that rule too.
yes, oh yeah,
I mean,
to the T, because they were really just.
I guess there was
I mean-
a couple of mushroom eating incidences, but
It was really a fun time. I mean, you can't say anything really bad or anything. I can't, or I don't. Y'all can, but I don't think you can. I'm saying you
Yeah.
can say what you want, but I never seen anything that was disrespectful, out of the way towards anybody or any worker or any workers being disrespectful or any of that stuff. So
Ray had a
it
bad
was-
day Sunday at about 2:00.
Yeah. Ray had a bad day on the way home. So I got to the next town over, about 45 minutes away. Had a good ride all the way back. It was nice. It rained like every time a little place town or something. It already rained. I was behind it. It was way ahead of me. So, and I didn't even have my rain gear on. I was passing motorcycles, and motorcycles was there or next to me or behind me. I'd meet them. They all was rain geared up and all that. And I'm just sitting there in my t-shirt and blue jeans riding, and not in my half shell helmet. I took my full face and never once I got wet or none of that. So, but yeah, I got almost home and my throttle cable broke on my bike. So I drifted off into a church parking lot. And what irritated me the most was if you guys had watched and know me, most of you do, I just had put those $628 throttle cable extensions and all them new cables on 6 months ago, if that 6 months ago. So I've got a lot to do talking to the mechanic in the morning, going to find out some stuff, if they're warranted or not. So the thumpers, we got to hold each other. And luckily, this is what the bike community is really about, because they actually detoured like 145 minutes, 2 hours out of their way to come pick me up and hauled my bike. We loaded my bike and we unloaded Dina's bike, and we put my bike up in the toy hauler and we loaded it back to Crossville to the KOA. And then they came and got me this morning, and I'd rented a U-Haul trailer, the motorcycle trailer, and we went and picked my bike up and brought it back. So my bike is home now in the driveway. So I will be staying to it soon, hopefully. So yeah, that's kind of day I had on the way home. So, and I didn't get mad and upset. I thought about getting, pissed off and all that, but I knew that me getting mad wasn't going to fix the bike. So, we seen to it as, the community, most of the people in the community do. They help out. They lift a hand, and when a friend or a fellow biker or whoever, goes down, and when somebody's there, and I actually had Tiger and Droop call me, and Tiger was like, dude, I got a truck and trailer. I'll drive and pick you up and take you. I'm like, man, I'm like 40 minutes, 45 minutes away from home. You're in Virginia. I appreciated it. Trust me. I told both of them how much I love them for that, for, offering, but I was not going to let someone drive all the way from Virginia to haul me 30 minutes or 40 minutes, home. So, just to show you the kindness of, this community, man. I mean, what can you say? You know what I mean? That's what it's supposed to be about. You know what I mean? Not anything else. Right there is what it's supposed to be about. So, and the weekend and the fun we had, and Monkey, just the welcoming that he welcomes people to, at his rig and stuff like that. And, they could go and say, hey, we're having our own good time. Nice to meet you. See you later. You know what I mean? They don't do that. If you know who Monkey is, I know y'all do, but I'm saying if you've been around him, he likes to hang out with, with people in these groups, and just loves to have fun and enjoy the time with the people. So if you get a chance to go to SmokeOut, man, I highly recommend it. So
Can I reply to Wilkie's comment?
Oh, thank you, Butch
Thanks, Butch.
and Adam.
Thanks, Adam, for sending them.
thank you, Butch, buddy. Yes.
Like,
And Adam,
subscribe,
thank
and share.
you.
Do us a
Yeah,
solid.
that's right. I'm
All right,
just,
so go down to Wilkie's.
which one? There?
Sugar
Sugar
redneck.
redneck? Sugar.
What did I tell you we should do?
Yeah.
So we got it when we picked him up. We got it back to the KOA stand. I took it apart, and I'm like, well, I can reverse the cables so that you have just throttle. You don't have the retention where it goes back, and you've got to control the throttle.
Yeah.
She jumps in. Oh, you're trying to kill him. It's so sketchy. Don't do that.
Well, Ray
So
was-
I didn't do it because, not just because of that, but it to me that would be sketchy to be on a highway interstate and then have to go on an interstate or back roads there, and then the construction that they're doing with the people that drive like they do around here. I felt like, I didn't really want to chance it, because somebody would have turned or not turned, and I'd have been in the rear end of somebody, because they're just idiots. But yeah, that was a suggestion, Wilkie.
I think you're thinking about it the wrong way, Ray. Think about this: free cruise control.
Yeah, well, true. But
only
they're
one
building
top
they're
of
building a
the bottom,
bypass
you're
of
going
four.
forward.
They're building a bypass 4-lane from Crossville all the way to Jamestown, which is 38 miles, and it is a mess and miserable, and construction everywhere and working. And truthfully, I just did not want to take that chance. So I
drove it a few
figured,
times. It is fucked up. There's a bunch of idiot drivers that don't know where they're going either.
So, and I figured, $40 for a U-Haul trailer.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah. He says I'd have done it in the parking lot. Well, not if you would be over here in the curves. That if I would have went that way and kept going the way I was going to my house, there's no way you would have went over 10 mile an hour through the curves and the 3 creeks and the caves you'd had to go through to get to my house. Trust me, I know everybody says I'd have done it until you get on my roads, and then you said, well, I'm in the ditch now. I really need someone to come tow me out. So I figured I'd do it the smart way, save my bike, save my life, and that's it. So
Yeah, and if anything would have happened to him,
Hey.
I would have been, I don't know.
trust me.
I think
No,
the word you're looking for would be at fault.
No, it would have been my fault for actually taking off on it, but
it would have been my fault because I did it.
I would have never been able to with myself or let either.
But like I said,
Hey,
if I would-
remember.
You got-
Say,
Take it over.
go fast, don't die. Yeah.
that's right. And safety second.
Well, that was my thought process. Was safety third. Let's get it running. Let's get it going, and let's go.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
my thought was,
He never saw Smokey and the Bandit.
I grew up on it. Yes, I saw all that shit. But I'm telling you, call me the safety police. I don't care. Call me what you want. I was going to get on safe to my family, and I'm telling you, you come to my roads and you'll say, okay, Ray wouldn't have went over 5 or 10 mile an hour, to go, which would have been fine, but it took me another 4 hours to get home, from a 35-minute drive. So, because the roads are very, very backwood country, curved. I mean, up mountains, down, just, so. But okay, off that subject, cool. Is Lolly coming? Okay, Jamin is talking to Frogzilla, I guess. So yeah, you need to plan it. And I think Frog was going to come down, wasn't he? And he couldn't. Was it Frogzilla that was going to come down, Thumper?
Yeah, Frog was going to try to make it.
Yeah,
But I guess
and then I think some things come up, and so yeah, buddy, I hope you make it next year. Like I said, it's really. If you like that kind of stuff, camping, and hanging out, and at a place like that, and not really caring about going and riding other places and taking your bike, man, I suggest it. I suggest it for everybody, but if you've never experienced that anyways, I would suggest you do that rally, whatever you want to call it, camp out rally, whatever, chopper rally. I think everybody should at least, experience it one time, so.
Well, you can have the best of both worlds, Ray. So so going from wherever you're coming from, take all back roads, find the curviest route you can to and from, and you can get some good riding in on the way there and on the way back. And while you're there, put the kickstand down and,
Well, look,
have fun.
if you're coming from the west, you got to go through the Blue Ridge Mountains.
And it's beautiful, 2 tunnels. And I tell you, that's one thing I regret is not filming my ride over, because I don't film my rides anymore. There's very few I film when I'm on the bike. And going through there in that gorge and going up the mountain, and all that, seeing all that, I went through there as a younger man, but it was in a car. So I don't, it wasn't on a bike. So that was my first time that far over and, in North Carolina on the bike. But that's one thing I regret is not filming the ride over. But I get sick of that, making sure, because the battery is going to eventually go low or die, and I've got extra batteries. But it's a hassle sometimes. And I was enjoying the views, and I was just enjoying my solo ride because I went by myself, and and I just took off and left, and I wanted to enjoy the ride, basically. So, and I didn't film. And now on the way back, I put the GoPro on. I filmed about 20, 30 minutes of different scenes and stuff. So I've got some footage I'm going to put together.
I drove the rig in. I drove the rig out.
Frog says he drove it, but never rode it. And I tell you, man, it's a beautiful ride. I had the little music playing, not real loud or nothing going crazy. Just, I was in my own head. I was in my thought process of having a good, just a good ride. So I really, like I said, there's times I love to be by myself and go on a good ride like that. And, and that's why I like being a solo rider too, is because I get that time, I can have fun by myself riding and enjoying it. So
I have fun by myself too.
Hey, so speaking of having fun by yourself, this segment is brought to you by Adam and Eve. No, I'm sorry, but
Dang.
okay. So I got one for you, Ray. So you brought that up. So when you're going to and fro, right? So there are some people that ride in the big pack. They like to have a bunch of guys get together and go. Some guys like to ride solo, and then there's in between. So what's the biggest? And this is probably for everybody in the chat wants to chime in on this one. What is your perfect size to ride? You know, let's say you're going to go to Sturgis or you're going to go to the SmokeOut or wherever. What's the max size of your group that you want to ride with so you don't kill each other?
No more than if I'm going a good distance, probably no more than 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. And that's more of a bonding and you know, knowing those people and just really, yeah, I would, and that's just me personally. I wouldn't want 20 people or 10.
Right.
No more than 4. You know,
no. I mean,
more.
It was interesting in that movie, The Wild Hogs. They had 4. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
So-
yeah, probably no more than 4. Yeah, they had a good trip, you know, and went all the way across country. So I think, yeah, something like that, about 4. Yeah.
They had a good time.
Yeah. Oh man, they had fun, and I'd love to experience it, but I got to experience it by myself, so that's fun too. I guess I'm like what's the old guy in the end of it? You know, Peter Fonda on his own by himself. I could say that was me. You know, I mean, fuck.
No, he actually had a lot of respect for those Wild Hog guns.
I know it.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was the original Easy Rider or nothing. And
Yeah.
I'm just
So the Wild Hogs, I can't.
They actually played the movie. They had a 24 fucking foot screen, dude. Yeah.
And they played Wild Hogs.
Yeah.
So check this out. I if it's like people I've rode with, you know, and I know they can ride, they're okay. I really don't care how many
That's
people
right, Adam.
I'm gonna fall into my pack.
Yeah. Or you don't fall where you get in. Yeah.
So like I could name 5 or 6 right, you know, off the top of my head that if they wanted to ride out, I'm cool with them 6 people, you know, and myself. And then you had my wife. So it really all depends on who you're talking about. Because
that's true.
I mean, I rode with a bunch of y'all. I mean, I come to y'all to ride if I got to, type deal. And I would ride with everybody that I rode with. I'd make sure that I fix Group's bike before we ride.
Adam said it.
But like everybody that I've rode with, if they wanted to pack up and ride somewhere, I'd be down. So
Right.
I mean, I can't just say 4 or 5. But like if we're going to do gangster shit, yeah, I only want about 4 of us. I want about 4 of us, you know, so that we can do what we need to do. If we're gonna run hard and run, yeah, 4 or 5 tops. It starts getting sketchy. You start having to, you know, make sure everybody hangs in.
Yeah, and buddy, you know, like I said,
so it just depends on the ride. We're just cruising out. Like, say we're all meeting in Tennessee and we're headed to Sturgis. We know we're going to stop in St. Louis. We know we're going to stop in Sioux Falls, and that's our stops. Yeah, dude, it could be like 20 of us, and we actually have a great little ride because it's just a ride. But if
to me, it's the most important thing is that the riders that you're riding with all have the same mentality, meaning, well, and also you want generally the same skill level, but also like there are some people that want to take pictures and make a bunch of stops. Those guys all need to go together, right? And then there's guys that are looking to do 100 miles an hour.
That's why I said it depends on the ride. It depends on the ride. If we're doing the sketchy shit, we're riding out, like hard riding. Yeah, I want 4, maybe 5 tops, and they got to know what they got to know. They got to be able to hang in there.
And I'm the sitting duck always.
And Jamin says,
if we're doing just a ride, and it is what it is type deal, we know our destination. shit, it could be 20, 30. I don't give a shit. Now, if it's you need to tell me up front if it's a sightseeing tour or if we're just riding to our destination.
A to B, yeah, getting there
Right.
quick.
Yeah, everybody. As long as everybody's on the same page and everybody's cool to, like,
Yeah.
okay, this is the agenda.
As long as we know what to expect on the ride, then that will depend on the amount of people I'm comfortable with. But
Yeah. Real diverse.
Renee,
Hey, hold on. I'll put this back on CarPlay, and then she's gonna take the dog for a.
And that's like, and Evil
Quick
says
walk.
he stops at, and takes pictures a lot. And that's what we're saying, it depends on where you're going, in my opinion, what group you're in, who you know what I mean? If it's like, let's hurry up and get there, A to B destination, I want to know ahead of time because I like to lollygag and hell, I'll sing and dance, I don't care. And that's why I like doing solo by myself because it's my time. I can stop as many times as I want. I can do what I want. I can take pictures or I can, whatever. So,
Can I hop in here?
yeah,
on
go ahead.
Evil Rick's post. I stopped for a lot of pics, but in between he does 80 miles an hour.
on Kirby episodes on a three-wheeler.
It's a race. To
He
the next
zooms, don't he? Yeah. He's vroom,
See, I can ride
vroom.
with him. The picture taken and hauling ass. I do both of those things.
Yeah.
Hey, and Ray, let me know if I'm giving you feedback because I did put you on. You're on the surround sound now, and so and a separate mic. So just let me know if I'm jacking you up.
Echo. No, you're not.
No, you're not. No. Tail gunners. Yep. You got tail gunners. And that's, fly with a car.
Did you
I mean,
stop?
it's,
What do you mean?
yeah, he stopped. Well, I hope she ain't walking the dogs while they're going down the road.
We
I
froze. We
I
didn't
just-
see the
Oh,
part.
he
I
said
just
she was
jumped
walking
out.
the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we stopped. We stopped for. We're gonna stop for the night at this rest area, and so.
Nice.
Hey, we were
with
at
the
we were,
pace car.
so not to go too far off the subject but for 1 second, we stopped at a truck stop on the way down to Tuscaloosa, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and we hear a knock on the door, and we're up actually, but I ain't about to open the door at 2:00 in the morning, and so I was asking some of my trucker buddies, like, so what do you think that was about? And they said, more than likely it was a lot lizard. And I was like, yeah, I don't have to deal with her. So assuming it wasn't her. But,
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, you know, in this day and age, you can't be gender specific.
Yeah. They
heaven
disrespect them.
Yep, commercial
We don't-
company can be either.
Yeah. So,
Right.
That's the
but
one
like
thing
I don't know.
when you use the truck stops and I have to walk from inside back through all the trucks. I'm like, just don't look, don't make any eye contact. Just keep walking.
Because they get the wrong.
Be sure
yeah.
I am not
Well-
a commercial company.
All right, Bill. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for showing up and hanging out as always.
It was awesome hanging out with you.
Till next
Yes, I'll be in Daytona in March, so that's where the next stop will be for all. Well, mine will be St. Louis first, probably, and then Daytona. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Daytona because, like I said, if
Me
our
too.
plan pulls together, we'll be in Florida like February, March, April, and so we'll get to see the monkeys, the thumpers, and
Doc's
we'll
gonna
hit,
be
like,
back down there.
Yeah, and Daytona, that'll be cool. And
So if you're there March and April, you'll get to do March Bike Week at the Cabbage Patch with us. I don't know if y'all stay at the Cabbage Patch, but that's
Stay at the Cabbage Patch.
that's where we'll be staying.
yeah,
And then
you,
April is Leesburg
you tell
Bike
me where to
Fest.
go, I'll go.
Leesburg is April is
Really?
Right.
Bike Fest, and that's Windy Acres.
You'll go where I tell you to.
That's right.
And
Hey,
we're going to try to
I'll
host the
go-
chopper show.
Whenever
So-
anybody has more knowledge than me, I always
I hear
listen.
you. I understand that. I'll tell you what. I'm
Always,
also
60% of the time.
well. I'm also thinking of trying to put Leesburg on the map. So just the way everybody talks about it, and I like the smaller stuff. I have to, and it's not just because I went to SmokeOut, guys. You can ask Dallas. You can ask the people that know me. I prefer those, and those smaller events. They're just more intimate. You get to actually hang out, get to know the people you're around. You get to make those network connections with companies if that's what you want, or you get, then you get to network with your friends and make friends, or actually get to know who people are. So,
Yep. Exactly.
He says, okay. Wilkie says he's thinking of taking the chance and going to book the site. Are you talking about Daytona, Wilkie?
Yeah, Cackleberry is the
Cabbage-
campground across the
from-
street
from
from
Cabbage
Cabbage Patch.
Yeah.
You'll actually be camping. That's where the rigs will be parked, is Cackleberry.
Yeah.
But they just call it Cabbage Patch because that's more well known. That's where the coleslaw, wrestling, all the vendors are there. The trailers are literally across the street at the Cackleberry.
And see what Adam says. Leesburg is probably one of the best small town route, and that's what I keep hearing. I've heard that from Monkey to Tom to Thumpers to, a ton of people. We lost connection. Yeah, he's good.
Good night, Butch. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, man. Make sure you go check our channels out. Subscribing helps us.
Since Leesburg and the neighboring city Tavares is where our office is, but since we're from there, we're gonna try to host a chopper rally. Hopefully,
chopper show.
Sorry, meant chopper show. With Monkey and maybe some other.
Well, we're gonna see if Heather and Chris can get involved. They might have a prior plan commitment on the West Coast. So I'm not going to say anything about that because I don't know other than what I talked to them about. But we're definitely going to try to get a bike show, a chopper show, custom build or something.
Oh, yeah, duh. Daytona. Choppers. I got to meet Willie's Chopper Tattoo, the owner, Willie, at SmokeOut. He was there as well, guys.
Yeah.
So if you know who I'm talking about, they do a chopper show at Tropical Willie's Tattoo Shop in Daytona. Dude, he was up here this weekend. Great dude.
Yeah, he was helping take the trash out too.
Yeah, I mean, just hands down, man. These people are just humble and regular people, but they do so much for the industry. So
that was the e-bike that we were trying to ride.
Yeah. But so the only thing that I would say Leesburg is lacking is, and just so you know, the campground part at Windy Acres is about 10 to 15 minutes,
tops.
away from the down Main Street section, the actual rally part.
Which is about 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
5 minutes from Gator.
Which is where a lot of the vendors, your bigger vendors, your more commercial vendors are going to be.
Gotcha.
And then there's another area. So there's like 3 or 4 areas that you can go to, but
there's not any good shows.
Yeah, there's shows.
No, I mean
no, they do.
Shows.
There's not very many bike shows. They do a like big wheel bagger show, and then they do a stereo.
The loud, the sound show.
It's at the fairgrounds. So that's the other area, which is about 10, 15 minutes from Gator, is the fairgrounds. And that's where they do the big wheel bagger show and the big sound system show.
Yeah.
So we would like to bring just a little more variation into
We've
that.
got a friend that owns a bar, Kitty Corner from Gator Harley.
A new saloon.
It's a saloon.
Just
and
opened, like 2 or 3 months ago.
They are willing to host it. He wants to put some shit on like that. So I think when we get back, we'll make plans and get that all set.
Be great advertising for his saloon,
Yeah, well, I mean,
he's already got a great location, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a great location because we were going to do it in my parking lot at my Bellhund office, which is big enough to do it. Yeah, I mean, I've got a big ass parking lot. We could definitely do it in my parking lot.
Some of those guys could, bring their bike, get bail.
Yeah, well,
get arrested.
I could care less about getting bail, but they could actually have a place to have a bike show. And then he's like, "Hey man, we'll do it at our bar." And I'm like, "That's a great place because they can go in and get some drinks. They can't go in and get drinks at my damn bail bond office.
All right,
I
Jamie.
might
Good
be
night,
able to
buddy.
have some sodas and water for you, but you ain't getting a drink."
Yeah. And Adam says, he should be there as well in the 75th Chrome truck show. Yeah. He showed some of a truck show, and I seen
That is
some
a
before.
badass show.
Yeah, those truck shows are slick.
If
He
you're
says
into the big rigs, the low mean,
the
red
lights,
shit, painted
the paint
frames,
jobs. Yeah, it's all there.
that shit has some badass.
Wilkie number. We do not have hookups. I wish we did. I keep telling Thumper to put hookups there so we don't have to keep paying.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because since everybody comes to Leesburg, the Villages, Central Florida as a whole for the season, it's like $1,500 a week.
Okay.
To park
Hey,
your in.
Renee said she doesn't want to come on camera because she has no makeup. And
That's
I want
okay.
you to shame her.
My wife don't either in the dark.
Hey, even if she ran into a wall, she's better looking than you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
No, 10 times. If she ran into a wall 10 times.
Renee, nobody has on makeup in the
100-yard
dark.
dash in a 50-yard gym, she's still better looking than you.
Did you hear me, Renee? Nobody has makeup on in the dark. It don't matter.
That's true. Yeah, you can't see the camera.
But my hat still looks funny.
Yeah.
You like Ray's
It's
hat?
me. It's Ernestine. How do you put up with that man sometimes?
Where's
Have a
y'all
good
at?
night.
Where's the... Oh, you're leaving?
No,
No.
PA is.
PA says, "Good night, guys. I gotta go.
All right, buddy.
Get up early in the morning."
Yeah, we've been on an hour and 41 minutes. So people are like, "Oh, it's Monday night. Got to go back to work." So I get it.
Where are y'all at, Thumper?
Tennessee.
Oh,
Crossville.
Tennessee. They came out with a song.
And Ray's in Tennessee.
Oh, both y'all.
Ray's always in Tennessee. I never leave the state. So
I
Yeah,
love
conveniently
Tennessee.
now Ray's about 45 minutes north of us.
yeah.
And we'll see them all in about a month.
I lived in
And then-
Memphis for 2 years, and I lived
Don't
in
get-
Nashville.
Yeah,
2
Memphis
years.
sucks. God almighty. I don't like
That's what-
anything past Nashville except for Loretta Lynn's Hurricane Mills. That's about it.
So how far are y'all from Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Let's see.
Arkansas?
Oh no.
We're a ways. Right now, we're in Illinois.
Yeah. We're in Madison, Wisconsin.
All right, Gus. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Tell the wife I said hi. Yes. Yeah, like Gus, like I told him, we're just normal people. So Renee, when you meet us, don't get your hopes up because I'm just a normal dude. I mean, I'm just an
Definitely
average
don't get
dude.
your hopes up, but you know the disappointment. That comes
Yeah.
with
I mean,
you met us. It is what it is.
I still want your autograph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put on a check.
There you go.
Oh Lord.
It's
That's right,
RAY.
Frogzilla.
Can you sign that?
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, like Frogzilla says.
So, Dana, I heard you got a new motorcycle.
Oh man, and it rides fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the hipster wrote it. Yeah, we
Yes.
got pictures of him really being a hipster with his new gloves, his half helmet, riding out
Yeah.
on her little hipster bike.
See, I just assumed that when you said that you pulled Dina's bike out, I just assumed Dina then was riding,
That's
and
right.
she was like, she volunteered for the job.
Thanks, Doc.
Well,
Adam, you're right. West Memphis sucks, buddy.
that was
Well,
my
except for the
original
crime.
thought. And then I was in like shorts, and my the slide blocks my drawer with all of my clothes, so I would have just been riding in shorts. So I was like, Ray's already dressed for it, let him ride it. He complained about my seat. Oh,
The factory seats suck, but I did ride it and I enjoyed it. Yeah, it needs a few custom things, but other than that,
Yeah.
the 117, yeah, it's got. I liked it. So
mine are fighting at my feet.
I sure did, Tiger. I sure did. That's one of the first things I did.
We're at this rest area, and I took her out to go pee, and there's a tree. And so I was hiding behind the tree, and I thought this one would come out and check on me because I was out there like 10 minutes, and he never did. So he was in here talking to you guys.
Yeah, Ray, why didn't you go check on her? Because
They could have
I mean-
texted him help.
No, you said hell.
I was trying to say help.
yeah, because people get the wrong idea when you're in a
What
parking
did you
lot.
need help from? What happened?
I was trying to hide behind the tree and make him think that I had been kidnapped, but he didn't even care.
Yeah. She was going to disappear on him, and
That's the jokes
Could
we
have
play
been
with.
3 days away in some trucker's truck.
I know. I could have been halfway to
That's right.
Arkansas by now.
Hey, I got an idea. In a rest area, let's go into the woods.
No, it's right there.
There's no weird people
Anyway.
here besides us.
So
You should see the rig that pulled in just a few minutes ago next to us. I looked out the window and I was like, whoo. And then the other one that pulled in, there's a Class A that pulled in with a double stacker ATC trailer that's as long as the Class A. And I was like, well, we're the poorest people here now.
what Class A pulls a
Like a
30-foot double stacker?
That's a monster.
That's crazy.
I mean,
It is.
it's got to be like at least a 20,000 plus pound towing capacity, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's a rear engine Class A. So
Right.
what
So it's either
Class
gotta
A
be
has that?
it could be like a Country Coach or a Prevost or a Newell. I mean, it's got to be it's got to have a, like I said, it's got to have at least 20,000 towing capacity on that thing. I mean,
Yeah,
mine's
he
got 15,000, but I don't get close to it. So
He had to have 2 spaces because his damn stacker is 30 foot long.
It's
And then
crazy.
he's got probably a 45 or larger Class A.
that's a monster.
How does he park
Oh,
it? 'Cause
I don't
usually
know, but
there's like
oh,
a
no,
parking lot
He
and-
pulled
You got to
in,
go into it.
dropped his stacker, and then drove around and pulled in the spot
Oh.
beside it. He
Yeah.
had to rent 2 spaces
That's
because
crazy.
Yeah,
there was no way he was fitting in one.
I was about to say that's the thing that kept me from like.
He wanted to bring his Corvette, but we had to sell his Corvette to buy the Jeep. But he was like, I could get a trailer and we could bring the Corvette.
But that was it. It was like,
crazy.
man, it's just too much of a pain in the ass to try and pull a big old trailer like that. Because like I said, it's like most people they can't fit it, in the same space. So you either got to buy 2 spaces, and if spaces are at a premium, good luck with that. Or you got to find a separate location to drop that trailer.
Yep.
That's why
I'll
I'm
deal
wanting
with
to
the wet-
buy
I'll deal with the
a
wet
40-foot. I'm wanting to buy a 40-foot Super
Super
C,
seat.
and
Yeah.
then an 18-foot double stacker, so that I'm within the 60 foot of the normal
Right.
premium space. But I can
That's
put
perfect.
my truck and our bikes in a double stack.
Yep. No, if you had like that, I think that's the way to go.
That's what
Have
I'm
y'all
saying.
ridden the Cherahalla Highway? Skyway?
Carolina Skyway?
Have y'all ridden that one?
No.
Yeah,
No.
Ray has.
It's
Yeah, I've rode it. Yeah. It's
Ray,
nice.
haven't you
It's
rode it?
beautiful there. I've rode it.
No, we haven't.
it's better than
No,
the.
I haven't been on the Blue Ridge Parkway except for going over, there over this weekend over parts of that. But yeah, it's nice. It's got some pull off spots and good views.
Yeah,
You can take pictures. The Moonshiner or 28, it's real good. You can go through. Let's see. It just depends on where you're wanting to go. I mean, they got the Dale's Gap, the back of the dragon or the tail, or you can do the tail or the back. You got the Foothills Parkway, which is a real good, kind of ride, I guess. Depending on when you go, there's quite a few people over in there though, towards the dragon. But
That's what, like an hour from where we're at, hour and a half.
Couple hours.
Oh, it's a couple hours.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because you're on over. So
I was thinking about going to Wheels Through Time, Maggie Valley, because when we were on our way
I
up there, we
passed
drove right by it.
I went right through there this weekend.
Yeah, and I was like,
so, I mean, yeah,
we should go. We should run back there. And then I realized, well, it's 2 hours, but you lose an hour, so it's literally a 3-hour ride.
yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, and if you get on, I don't know if anybody watches, Norman Reedus, The Ride,
Oh yeah.
Daryl off The Walking Dead. That show, it's on HBO Max now. They've got his series. And if you go on there and watch his Blue Ridge Parkway ride and stuff like that of Tennessee, he actually goes through the Cherahawla Skyway and all that. And you can see some of the rides over there on the 28 and all that as well if you just want to see. Or you can go on YouTube and look up anybody riding, just people riding, that area if you want to see. But I like it the way he narrates his stuff too. So,
Adam is 88 and a half foot long. Holy shit. But he's got, his is a rig. His is like a Peterbilt rig.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Is he commercial? Does he have to stop at way stations and stuff like that? Like, I'm curious if Adam ever gets any hassles from like DOT or the freaking state highway police.
Yeah, you would have to ask him. I mean,
because I know we are just over, when we're not in Mexico, we're under 70 feet. But
Did we add feet when we bought the new trailer?
yeah.
So for me to get to Cherahawla Skyway, it's 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on the Cumberland Plateau. I'm on top of a mountain. So
Oh. Wow.
I'm on the Albany. I'm on the Albany, Kentucky line, Tennessee line.
Okay.
So I'm up
We went
north
through,
Tennessee.
we
You know
went
what I mean?
through
On the
Paducah.
plateau.
We went through Paducah, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Today.
Oh, Paducah. There's a big Class C guy in Paducah. We watch all of his videos. Y'all should have stopped and checked him out.
he sells show haulers, Dynamax, and Renegades. So he sells all three of the top lines.
Look
We
at Rick.
also have like a national park that has buffalo and elk, but we didn't stop. Land between the lakes or something like that.
Huh.
National park.
Hand between my knees, National Park.
That's your national park.
It's only East National Park. Nobody else wants that national park. Nobody's visiting there.
Hey, she salutes me every time. Oh.
Actually, you salute me.
Yes, I do.
What do y'all
Y'all are
think?
silly.
of Max Risk? Are you talking about Max Risk, the GSXR motorcycle crazy rider?
Exactly. Private RV. No commercial private. He's not commercial. He's private. So Adam.
Cool.
He doesn't have to pull through. And if they pull him over, he just says he's not commercial. But I'm sure he's got a CDL anyways.
Yeah.
At that length, they just, because I always hear people like on forums and stuff say, like, because when I say we're a hair over 70, and people go, the naysayers like, oh, and I'm like, well, I've been on the road. We've been on the road for over 3 years. We've never been hassled ever. But but if I was 88, I was like, I wonder if the super cops might decide they come interested.
It depends on what your state law is that the vehicle is registered in. It doesn't matter what state you're going through. It's the state law that your vehicle's registered in. And like Florida, I'm 65 foot. I can't be over 65 foot overall, unless I have a CDL. I can go get a Class B CDL, which is not a Class A. It's a Class B, so I don't have to have dock logs and all of that. And I can be 75, 80 foot, whatever.
Yeah. And Adam says the Dale's Gap, yeah. And Cherry Hall it's because he lives right over there. You know, he's not that far. You know, I've watched some of his videos of him at home and coming through there and him taking rides on the bikes and stuff, his bike and stuff. And he's got some pretty scenery over there too, you know. I think he needs to meet up with us when he's not working, you know, Leesburg, you know, somewhere doing something when he's got the time to. And I know it's hard to do that when you're on that kind of business circuit, you know. So
All I know is every time I see him, he's got a line of bikes.
Yep.
Busy man.
And
he is clicking through them, man.
Hey, so Adam, what does your schedule look like right now? I know you're going to Ocean City, which I was going to go there, but it's way too expensive for us.
Campground, yeah.
They wanted $1,500 for 5 days. I was like, nope, it ain't worth that.
no,
What are you
they're
talking about? You're going to find a vendor spot anyway.
not Ocean City, you know. I don't think I've seen a lot of videos, and it's an okay rally. I mean, it's not, you know.
Well, Baggers and Brews wanted us to come up. They asked me to come up, and I was like, sure, I'll put it on the schedule.
But we waited too long.
And then I don't know if we waited too long or if they just went
Thought
crazy.
you was going to pay it, you know, because
Yeah.
when you say, "Oh, I'm coming, I want to come to the rally," people kind of, you know, hey, we can get this one, you know. Let's just say $1,500 and we'll make money, you know.
But we're paying $1,500 in Lake in
Yeah, but that's a
Berries.
month. That's $1,500 a month, not
Yeah, that's
$1,500 for 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're paying $1,600 for 7 days.
Wilkie's saying the cackleberry is $1,400 for 12 days.
Yeah, that's 12 days though.
Yeah,
You know what
not
I'm saying?
5.
That's
Yeah.
Not for
Yeah.
5.
And Adam says that's not always true.
For what?
If he's talking about the campground area, and that's why I said they may have just seen an opportunity at the last minute, like you're wanting to come, and they thought, well, maybe we can just say, hey, you know,
Oh, he's saying I
think
think
it's
he's
some
talking about this
CDL.
CDL.
oh, the CDL thing. Oh, okay, or the feet, or yeah, I'm up for a meetup. He said, and well, what's your schedule? You know, maybe we can all meet up at Leesburg or something, or
Well, I know he
if
comes
you
from-
ain't. Oh, does he work Leesburg?
I think he was there last year, wasn't he?
Hmm.
I don't remember.
Or
No,
we
he-
can meet up. We have a meetup in October
Yeah.
at Henry Horton. That place is going to be a lot of YouTubers, and that's, you know, what it's basically, you know,
Yeah, but it's all
designed
booked up.
to. Yeah, it's booked up, but you can sure get a hotel somewhere. He says I'm in Ocean City right now. Then I go home for a little bit, then head to Myrtle. Oh, that's right, Myrtle Beach. Yeah, then home again. I forgot. Yeah, because someone was asking about Myrtle Beach
When
the
is
other
Myrtle-
night. I don't know.
We don't have room for anything else.
Yeah, we don't have room for.
I don't-
I'm at my 5,000 miles.
He's at max capacity.
Well, no, he does my oil every 5,000 miles. Typically, it's Daytona and one other place, wherever I run into him that I'm close to. Yeah, it was Daytona, then Laconia, and well, now I need it again. Well, I didn't need an oil
Oh,
change
I
in
did it.
Sturgis. You did
Yeah.
yours in Sturgis,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I need one now.
I was about to say the last two. This was the first year Adam didn't do my oil in Sturgis because I had some work done, and so it ended up I didn't need one. Just kind of a weird deal because usually I do try and set it up to let him do it.
Yeah, well,
At least I know my drain plugs will be back in. If
Yeah.
he does it.
So
yeah, we're in Texas during Myrtle Beach,
yeah, that's what I thought. Y'all was.
or no, we're in Henry Horton.
After that, he says he goes to Daytona, Panama, and then Galveston all in a row. Yeah, because he'll be out there in Galveston.
Oh yeah, Lone Star.
Yeah, Lone Star Rally.
Lone Star.
Oh.
You wanted to skip it.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We might
Are
be
you
in Lone
skipping?
Star. I don't know.
We'll see.
But Lone Star, we
Oh.
wouldn't get home until the 5th.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think you're missing much on Lone Star, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
We were there. We were there.
He
in
don't work
20
Leesburg, so
21. No.
Then he can hang out.
so yeah, that's what he's saying. He's going to be attendee and film. Yeah, that'd be good.
But
So
I
why
hate
don't
to
we
tell you
shoot
that-
for that then?
Yeah, it is.
Why don't
Well, we'll be
why-
there because we live there.
Well, why don't we shoot for that? You know, all us meeting up at Leesburg and no work. We just play. You know,
That's our lifestyle. No work, just play.
well,
That's why I put out so few videos.
yeah. When is the Leesburg?
Why would-
April.
That's why we're horrible YouTubers.
When is
thought-
Leesburg?
That's also
April.
McDonald's motto. All fast food places motto.
Let me see. I don't know the date specifically for Leesburg Bike Fest. That's 23. 23.
Okay, and hopefully I can meet you there. Me and the wife will be there. I think he's talking to Wilkie. Okay.
April 26th through 28th. Wait, nope. Yeah, April 26th through 28th is Leesburg Bike Fest.
So it's just a weekend event.
Yeah. So we pull in Wednesday.
Yeah, we make it a little more than
We
a
make it a
weekend.
little longer than a weekend. We pull into Windy Acres on Wednesday. They
See,
allow
I
you
didn't
to
know
pull-
if you could get there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they allow you to pull in. That dude's cool as shit. It's a regular working farm, and he
Cow
moves all,
pasture.
he moves all the cows off of it and puts them on the back 40, and then opens it up for the bike rally.
So when
So
you're
if you find mushrooms under the cow patties, eat them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well,
Also,
then you
you
might
don't
have
wanna
the
be-
two problems that were at SmokeOut.
Yeah.
You don't want to be downwind at Windy Acres.
right. Well, that's the funny thing is that it is really, really windy. It lives up to its name. So the very first night we were there, like this big windstorm came up, and it's at the top of like a hill, and everybody's awnings and everybody's tents blew away. Awnings.
Oh,
It
they
was
were-
awful. It looked awful.
The porta potties were all knocked over.
But like they do a really good job. Like literally the porta potty truck comes out
Every
every
day.
morning, cleans them, scrubs them down, or pressure washes them out, and puts new little things in them so they smell good.
And pumps out the RVs that
And
get a
they
lot
do.
of
They'll
action.
pump. Yeah, they'll pump out your RV, and it was like $50 for them to pump out your RV.
Because there's
Okay.
it's private. There's no hookup.
Yeah, there's no hookups. It's
Yeah, yeah. So does that mean there's no law enforcement?
yeah, there's no law enforcement. You're on private
Okay.
land.
Okay. That's what I was wondering if it was
And
private.
if you think that like whatever rally you've been to, you've seen boobs, no, they're just walking around naked.
Yeah, yeah. It's if you thought that the t-shirt show at SmokeOut got out of control, times this by about 3,000, because it's right on the border of the villages. So you connect the dots yourself.
Oh, picture Woodstock, 1969. Just people walking like they're in their own house.
There's
Yeah, like
stripper
yeah,
poles
like literally a rig pulls up
with the stripper
with
pole.
stripper poles and puts them in the field.
I forgot there's only a few people that remember Woodstock. So there's a few of you guys.
Here's another T-shirt idea for you: peace, love, and STDs.
There you go.
What? Hello.
Hey
It was
guys,
fun
I'm
to
gonna
get
bail on you.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours. I'm cutting it.
I was
So
gonna say Renee and I are gonna play trucker and DOT
Or doctor.
instructor.
okay.
She's gonna be commercial company tonight.
Just don't let the bone touch the side when you pull it out.
Yeah,
Is she? You gonna let her
I
back
guess so.
out? She's gonna come knock on the door.
that's right. I'm like, and then I'm gonna play all hardball, and they're like, "What, Copper? What are you doing? Why?" And then I'll be like, "Okay."
Well,
I'll
Renee, if you text me and said help, I would have came and helped you. So at least this Ray's not like that Ray. So
She's
no.
not bad. She heard you though. And she's laughing.
All right, buddy. All right, everybody in the side chat, thanks for showing up. Amsol, Adam, my brother, you've got to stay in touch with us, man. Jump on our shows. Come on and talk with us. you're more than welcome. You let me know. I'll send you the link.
Now, you know that guy's got great stories, by the way.
Oh, well, I mean, just, yeah, come on, hang out. I mean, welcome
Yeah.
anytime,
I'd
man.
love to hear his stories.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody in side chat, like I always say, thank you for showing up, supporting me and the other people on the screen, the Thumpers and Keith Ray, Raise the Road. If you don't know who they are, go subscribe to the channels. And, just try to get to an event that maybe you keep wanting to go. Just say, forget it and go, man. You will not regret it. So we're
If
going
not,
to end
keep
it that.
watching our lives, and we'll show you the events. through
Yeah,
the
and watch
YouTube.
the videos. That's right.
I
So
got a new
stay
camera.
in your lane.
You
Yep.
better.
So stay in your lane or crash the damn thing.
Good night, everybody.